All right, so hopefully you've watched the 62623 update video of example results that I got. And if you watch the video, which you should before you watch this video, I got decent results on listings or profiles that are based on citations, name, address, phone number, on business directories like Yelp, Facebook to a degree, Yellow Pages, etc. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes here. The tool is $97. It's a one-time fee, and then it's $47 one-time fee for scrape using the YP plugin. If you don't want to get it, great. I can do scrapes for you. Just give me 24 hours to get them back to you. And I know there's a very small group of people using this method, or at least this specific method, not some method that some idiot leaked out to all of the fools that are using an out-of-date method, so they don't think it works anymore, and good for effing them, you know? Anyway, that's my rant. So again, if you want to buy it, great. If you already have it, this is kind of a refresher because it doesn't involve as many steps as the old scrapes for the expired domain method from like a year and a half, or I think 2 years ago now. That being said, I'm just going to show you how I do it in case you do have the tool or you want to purchase the tool. This is good to know. All right, so let me just show you the site real quick. Scrapebox.com. They call this, I think they refer to this as the Swiss Army knife of SEO because it does tons of things. But in this particular case, we're going to be using it to harvest businesses from yellowpages.com that usually are aged, have been around for a while. The business might be out of business, or they just might they're not in maps, for lack of a better term. Okay, and so we're going to go into that here in a second. Okay, so the cost, again, if you don't want to invest in it, that's fine. I can do scrapes for you. Just give me 24 hours. 97 bucks, one-time fee. The actual plugin for the Yellow Pages scraper, there's all these things. We're just going to focus on a couple of those things. The lifetime license is $47. Again, there are other paid tools we're using right now, like dedicated proxy IP addresses, browser management. Don't use VPNs. I think I've told you that before, but if not, stop using it. You'll get 0 results. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. So now we know where to find it. We know what the prices are. We know the plugin. Great. I know some of you already have the tool and just need a refresher, just like I said. So I'm going to pull up Scrapebox. This is what it looks like. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to load some proxy IP addresses because this is a scraper. And it's going to rotate those. And I use 20, but you can use 5 or 10. Just realize if you're using this and not having me do it for you, the more you use it, eventually Yellow Pages will blacklist that proxy. And at some point, you're going to have to get more. Just full disclosure, okay? I think I've said 15 times now, you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. That's fine. I'm going to show you how it works and what I do for the citation-based profiles that I was using to get reinstated in the video. Again, it's the example updates result video section. I forget the name of the folder, but it's my results and examples so that you can see what I did, what I didn't do, etc. So watch that video. It's from June 26th, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to upload proxies. So you're going to click on load from file. And I happen to have this right here. These are recent for me. There they are. Upload it. Make sure you check box for use proxies. I have 20 of them. They rotate. I already told you that. The premium plugin is the YP scraper because we're going to be scraping yellowpages.com. I'm going to pull that up. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Again, I have 20 proxies. If I want to clear it out and load them, I'm just going to load them from the file again. Great, I have to go through this one more time. Proxy folder. There you go. And then make sure you click on use, otherwise they won't work. So then we're going to go to yellowpages.com. That's the website we're going to be pulling from in the United States. I know one or two of you are doing Australia, so you would use that. I will say I'm not super familiar with that, so bear with me. There might be some other sources for you. I simply don't know. And so once you've selected yellowpages.com, you can select a location. In this case, I want to get a lot of results, and since we are able to move reinstated profiles to other addresses, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to click on select locations, all locations. Now you can go to yp.com if you want to use keywords. I try to match the keywords to how they are in yp.com. So I'll just go over here. I'll go to yp.com, which redirects to yellowpages.com. All right, and in this example, I'm just going to use martial arts school, basically. So I'll start typing in. I don't know why it has me in Ottawa. It doesn't really matter, but whatever. I have no idea why it does that. So I'm just going to type in martial arts, and then we have martial arts school, martial arts instruction, martial arts academy. In this case, I'm just going to use like martial arts school, martial arts training. They're all kind of the same. Let's just, for simplicity's sake, let's use martial arts school. Okay, so that's the exact keyword for that category. If I click on it, I will change my location to, I don't know, Sarasota. There we go. It doesn't really matter. I don't know why the website does that. I'm not on proxies right now, but whatever. And so if I hit find, blah, 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 now I'm going to get stuff in Sarasota. Obviously, you do the same thing in whatever city you are. Just, it doesn't even matter, okay? It's all the same. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you. This scrape, you can use multiple keywords, but again, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use one. So again, I'm in. This is the scraper or scrape box in general. This is the plugin, okay? And the way you get to the plugin I just showed you. And so we have it selected to all locations, yellowpages.com. And I'm just going to put in martial arts school, martial art school. I'm going to go ahead and go over here. You want to make sure your connections are at 31. Okay, and the other settings, connection timeout 6, read timeout 10, proxies retry 1, and leave these at 0. Again, you want to make sure that you clicked on use for your actual proxy list. And once I have that, I'm going to click on start. And you're going to see down here, it shows the records. I know it's small, but you can see scrape records. It's going to almost 2,000. I usually run this to about 100,000. Maybe that's not necessary. I'm just trying to get a large list that I can go through to find my good citation profiles to use. And so we're up to 6,000, almost 7,000. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pause the video till I have about, I don't know, 100,000. Maybe 50,000, I'm not really sure. And then I'll show you how to export it, how to sort it. It's actually pretty easy. If you've used the expired domain method, we're not doing as many sorting functions as we did then. We're just really looking for expired domains. We're not going to actually buy the domain. We're just going to use that to find businesses. You'll see that in a couple minutes, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually had to step away and do something, and so I pulled 397,718 records. Just keep in mind a lot of those are going to be duplicates, which we'll take care of here in a minute. So I'm going to go to export, and then since there's so many, it might take a second to pull up. Total mistake here, but you know what? I guess I'll have a huge list. So anyway, I'm going to take it to a folder that I assigned called scrapes. You can see I have other scrapes right here. I'm going to call this martial arts, right? So, geez, man, I swear I know how to spell martial. It's been a long day. What's that martial arts school? And I'll show you, it pulls some other categories as well, which is fine. So I'm going to save that. It's a ton of data. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my scrapes right here. look for martial arts school, which is right there. And I'm going to pull up this huge Excel file. And then I'm going to sort it and get rid of everything I don't want. So now I have 3,000 whatever records, 397,000 records. But don't worry. I'm going to click up here. I'm on home and I'm going to go over to data. I'm going to go over right here. This is to remove duplicates. I just selected everything and it's going to run through its thing here. And all of those was 361,000 duplicates, so we're left with 35,975. Great, whatever. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these headers right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and select domain. So these are all the domains that are associated with these profiles. And what we're doing is I'm looking for and sorting it for expired domains. Not because I want to buy the domains, because usually expired domains in most cases are linked to businesses that some aren't in maps, some are permanently closed. In smaller cases, some is just where the business got a better domain, but that's for me the easiest way to find these businesses from yp.com that have citations that are existing in search that will help get past their AI screening for reinstatement. They just have more validity. And on top of that, when they're evaluating your reinstatement request, they look a lot of times, I've heard this, does they Google the business information? They don't see anything. Usually it's, you're done. Even for real businesses that have the profile at their real location. Go figure. But anyway, let's go ahead and take these domains. I'm going to copy them. And then I'm going to open another tab. I'm just going to call it domains. So right click domains. And then I'm going to go up to the A column, copy. And now what I'm going to do is go to remove, you know what? No, well, yeah, we'll do, here's what we'll do. I'm sorry. We'll copy this. Okay, so now it's copied. I'm going to go back. See, this is the YP scraper. I'm going to go to scrape box. I'm going to right click and paste. Okay, so now that sorts it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it just to the root domain. I'm not interested in the extension folders on the URLs. So I'll click on trim to root. Now it's done that. I'm going to go ahead and right click, copy all URLs to clipboard. Okay. I'm going to move my video thing and I'm going to replace them right here. So now I have all these domains, right? I think it's like 30,000. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Well, now I'm going to go to data, remove duplicates. So now I have 16,475 unique domains. I'm going to highlight them, Control C or however you want to copy. Go back to the main scrape box folder. So I'm not in the YP plugin anymore. In fact, I can just close it. And so once I have that here, everything's ready to go. I'm going to go to grab check. And I'm going to go down right here to check unregistered domains. So basically it's checking for domains that are most likely available. Again, looks like we do have some dupes here. What the hell that is. Okay, let me, it doesn't matter for this. For the example, it really doesn't matter. So now I'm here, right? Let's just do this one more time. Close. It's going to, let me see if I can get rid of those dupes. Let's try it one more time. Sometimes it's not perfect. Okay, great. So we have that. Copy the column. Go to scrape box and clear it. Right click, paste. And then I'm going to go to grab check. Check unregistered domains. This window here is going to pop up. And I'm going to click on start. And it's going to run through two passes. One, it's just going to evaluate domains that are queued for the Whois site, which they're going to see basically if the domain's available or not. It's running through its thing. Anything in black is a potential domain that's going to be available. Again, I want to make this perfectly clear. We're not in the business of buying domains, okay? So don't worry about it. This is going to take a couple of minutes. Once it passes through pass one, they're going to take all of these domains that say queued for Whois in black, and they're going to run it again to find expired domains. it just does this automatically. So I'll pause the video. So it will take probably about 5, maybe 10 minutes. So when it's all ready, I'll be right back and show you what to do from there. Okay, so this took about 20 minutes just because in my opinion, I scraped way too many records. But if you can see down here, there's 479 available expired domains. And so what you do after that is you have everything squared away, so to speak. You click on export, and then I have a folder called available domains. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to call this Martial Arts School. Okay, and there's going to be different categories that are somewhat related. It's just what it is. So I have that. Okay, I can go ahead and close this. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Ooh, you can't see that. And let's go back here. And let's open this up right here. So I'm going to find that folder, available domains right there, Martial Arts School. There's my list. Okay, they're just now domains, they're not URLs. So I'm just going to highlight them all, copy, go back to my spreadsheet. Got to get my thing out of the way there. Delete, and then paste. Okay, so now I'm just going to increase the zoom a little bit so we can see. All right, so do this 145. I'm going to save this. Probably should have saved it before, but you don't want to lose everything after you've done this work. I'll repeat it again. Don't worry about this. If it's too, I shouldn't say if it's too much. If it's just like, yeah, I can't do this, that's fine. I'll do it for you. I just want to explain the process. We'll go to here. So now we have the domains tab and Scrapebox export, and that's just where all the businesses are. And so I'll do the same here. I'll just increase the zoom so you can see it. All right, so at this point, we're going to do searches. We're going to take a domain. We're going to see which business it's connected to, and then we're just going to Google search the name, address, and that's it. Not phone number, just name and address. So I'll go through the list real quick. Take this domain, copy it, go to the business tab. It's called Scrape Export 1 or Scrape, whatever you want to name it. Doesn't really matter. You do Control F, paste that in there, and click Find Next. All right, you get rid of this. So this is Kihan Martial Arts. Copy that, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over here. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. We've already seen that. And paste it right in. And so, as you can see, there was one and there are citations, but it's permanently closed. So it's in maps per se, so we don't want to use that. And so we'll just repeat the process. So I'll go back here, go to domains, copy, businesses tab, Control F, Control V, enter. Here's the next one right here. We should get rid of this rating column. I don't know why I had that in there before. All right, so let's try this again. And obviously, if it doesn't have an address, we can't use it. What in the world? All right, let's try this one more time. I can't have any columns or cells highlighted. So Control F, Control V, enter. Right here. Atlanta Kung Fu in Sanda Center. All right, go over here. It's kind of a repetitive process. Okay, this one is an example where it's still live. I'm not sure if it's claimed or not. A lot of times the knowledge panel says they're not claimed, but when you go to maps, they actually are claimed. You can see the citations, but again, we already have the business. So it's a pretty simple process. It's very similar to what we were doing with businesses. It's just, we're not, I should say the business registration sites, but these have better results. So I've said this a couple of times, but I'd much rather spend my time and getting quality information than doing like 20. I'd rather do 10 and get 4 or 5 than doing 20 and get 2 or 1. You know, that's just the way I look at it. Of course, you can get VAs to do this, and you're going to see this a lot. I haven't pre-selected one. I'm just kind of going through it. If I find it's taking a little too much time for what I have going on today, I'll pause the video and just show you one. But let's just go through the process. I'm not a big fan of hiding things. Not that I'd be hiding it, but you know what, whatever. I don't like doing that. Okay, so this is interesting. This is Stowe Martial Arts Center. It is at 117 Great Road Stowe, and this is at 118 Great Road Stowe. The problem is more than likely this is just an updated listing for this business. If I click on maps, okay, so they actually have this. It's permanently closed, so we kind of get the gist of that. So now I'm going to go back here. Man, my little search bar, recording bar is so annoying. Anyway, all right, same thing. The longest this has ever taken me is 15 minutes, and that's just because I was working slow, but in most cases you can find one pretty quickly. But again, since I'm recording a video, it's probably going to be some kind of a pain in the ass. So let's do this again. All right, find the business. Is that right? There we go. And of course, now that I'm doing this live, it's going to be a little bit more annoying. It's not usually like that. And it also depends on the category. If you're doing like restaurant or like bar based things, and even this, you're going to have a lot of them already in maps. But this is just an example I came up with off the top of my head. So, like a robot. There's probably a way to automate this, hint, hint, but I don't know if it's worth the time to do that right now. All right. All right, so this is a little different. Okay, so this is at 81 or 8321 Bel Air Road in Nottingham, Maryland. And sometimes they pull up something that's different. Okay, so this isn't the address, it's in the same city, it's in the same category, but a completely different name. So odds are this was separate. Now, if I look at the citations, we got 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 on Yelp. And then that's about it, but that's fine. Go to maps, it's not there. So this would be candidate number 1. I guess that didn't take too long. And so what I do is I just highlight it in yellow. So I know when I want to go back and pick them or start working with them, that's how I go back. I typically, I like ones that don't pop up anything, but what we just said, or just what I just showed you is fine. It will still work. You'll find that these go live pretty quickly. So let's see what else we have here. Yep, that one's closed. Let's move down the list. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I just wanted to show you some. I'd want one to pop up now that doesn't have a knowledge panel, and of course, I didn't even do that correctly. So there we are. Master Lee's Top Martial Arts. Danielson. All right. I might do a couple more on screen and then go off screen, but I'll show you, what it was and why it's good or not. So right here, Silk Dragon Kung Fu. And this just might be one of those categories that have a lot already in maps. Okay, that's closed. Let's go back here. So as you're watching this, it's a pretty simple concept. It's the harvesting part you might want to get or might have to get used to. But then again, you can use me for this scrape because we do it all the time. All right. All right, let's see. McCleary Arts Center, McCleary Martial Arts Center. That one doesn't have an address on it. That's fine. Oh, yeah, it does in the title tag. This one does in the metadata. Dun & Bradstreet's a great citation, by the way. Super Pages has it. BuzzFile, Chamber of Commerce. Decent enough. Yelp, they don't have it in there. That's good enough. Let me go to Maps. So sometimes it pulls a 3-pack, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's a big deal. McCleary, so I'm going to use that one as well. And for time's sake, I might do a couple off screen and show you, but that's 2. I was talking through it, so it took a little bit more time. But that's the process, okay? You're looking for businesses. You use expired domains because those are the easiest ways to find these versus just going down the list, blah, 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 blah. Most of them are going to be in maps. So I'm going to pause this real quick, come back with a couple more examples, and we'll be good to go after that. All right, and about 30 seconds later, I found a decent one that is no map pack at all. I prefer that, but like I said before, I don't think it really makes a difference so long as it's different information. So this one was Hesperia MAI, and this is Martial Arts International, Hesperia. All right, I copied and pasted that. And now I have yellow pages right at the top. It's going to be great for pushing it live pretty quickly. Business, yeah, us.com, Dojo Finder, niche related. Yelp, always a good one. The thing is, and it doesn't always have to have the exact address. If it has the name and city or name, it's fine. This one's 12027 Hesperia Road. We have that on Yellow Pages, pretty important because it's a trusted site. This is just another result from Yellow Pages. This one has the address. This one has the address. Dojo Finder has the address. Yelp has something different, but it's in the same zip code. So my thinking is that might have been an old address. vymaps.com matches up there, and we're good enough. Like 3 to 5 or so is good. And if I go to maps, it's not in there. So I'm going to call that candidate number 3. I think I've gone through enough. So hopefully this makes sense. Took a little bit longer than I'd like, but when I did this off screen, it really took like 2 more tries, so it's not too bad. And I have that there. Let's just make sure I have everything set. And common sense, but always make sure you're saving. Spreadsheets have a way of crashing at times. You can do this on a Google Doc or Google Sheet, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. You want to copy and paste it in there. I'm just using the basic concept. But anyway, that is how I found my business information, what I called have citation profiles. Okay. 2 benefits to it. Super quick typically. If Maps is running at the right speed to get that thing verified, goes live pretty quickly, which is great, I guess. But more importantly, when you're submitting a reinstatement request, you already have a search presence in Google. Okay, so you can get through the AI screen or the AI filter for reinstatement up front, and it definitely, from what I noticed, helps you get something reinstated versus something that maybe has one result, even though it's in a state directory, or something you made up is probably the worst. And a lot of these reinstatement requests that come back within like 5 to 20 or 15 or 30 minutes, they didn't pass the filter. Even stuff that's registered in the state business site, there was no other presence out there. I can almost guarantee you that a human being didn't look at these at all.